There is another use for the blanket stitch, and that is applique stitching on fabric. Usually, I use thread that matches the fabric color when sewing, but this time I chose black thread for contrast, for the purpose of demonstration. Let's start by inserting the needle from the back side of the fabric, passing through both layers, about 2 to 3 millimeters inward from the edge of the applique. Then pull the thread. Next, we insert the needle near the edge of the applique through the bottom fabric and come out exactly at the same point where the thread emerges. Pull the thread until a loop is formed. Then, pass the needle through the loop twice, and when pulling the thread, make sure to pull upwards, so the knot is positioned at the top of the applique. Pass the needle again through the bottom fabric, close to the edge of the applique, and bring it out through the applique, about 2 to 3 millimeters inward. Wrap the thread around the needle and pull it tight. We'll repeat this process for several more stitches. In cases where we want to sew only part of the applique, here's how we finish the stitch. We insert the needle close to the point where the last stitch ends, so that the thread goes to the backside. We'll then flip the fabric and make a double knot as close to the fabric as possible. The way I make the knot is by forming a loop and pulling it to the side while pulling the thread to the opposite side. Then, I hold the knot tightly against the fabric with my thumb as I pull the thread. Make another knot for added security. Now, we can trim the excess thread. Sometimes we want to take a break in our sewing, either because we ran out of thread or we want to change colors. We'll take a new thread with a double knot at the end. To continue sewing, we'll insert the needle from the backside, close to the point of the last stitch. This way our sewing appears seamless. Then, we continue sewing in the same way we did before until we cover the rest of the applique. When we reach the point where we have one more stitch left to make, making an additional stitch would create a double stitch that is thick and unaesthetic. Instead, to finish our work neatly, we should insert the needle through the first stitch we made and pull through. Then push the needle closest to the stitch, towards the backside. Make a double knot to secure your sewing. Then, trim the excess thread. And that's how we sew an applique to a fabric using the blanket stitch.